Rarely has mankind hesitated to eradicate the creatures that stand in the path of his conquest. If we find ritual extirpation of undesirable odors of another, the rest must be destroyed. Is it possible that our dark past? Watch them and pray.
Greetings, ladies, gentlemen, government agents, HFO practitioners, and anyone who might be listening. This is Close Encounters of the Podcast Kime. I'm your host, as usual, Tasker. We have over here rocking a pentagram t-shirt today. Nick.
Yeah, guess what? It's October. It's our favorite month of the year. Really fucking hyped, man.
Mm-hmm.
Really excited. I brought it up last episode. I watch horror movies all the time, but I'm ramping it up this month. I'm ramping it up. I'm watching dumb shit. I'm watching scary shit. I'm watching stupid shit. Mostly stupid shit.
Right. Well, that one movie you suggested to me where it was like the first like shot of it, like the first part of the first 2 minutes of it, it's like they used the same shot, and then the villain came in and it was supposed to be scary. He just sounded like Bane. He
sounded like Bane. And the cinematography, it was just pornography cinematography. It was terrible.
Yeah, I think some porn actually had better cinematography than that, if you pay for it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. No, I mean, even the free shit's better than that. It was a terrible movie. I even forgot what it was called, so I can't, but don't watch it, all right? It was about a delivery pizza girl, and she goes to a house and delivers pizza to some old classmates, and then they roast her behind her back. I don't know. It was dumb. It was a shitty movie.
Yeah, it sounds like my early 20s.
Yes. But it's October. I'll watch anything. All right. So, look, that's Uncle Nick saying Happy October. This is officially the first episode of Close Encounters of the Podcast Kind in October, the greatest month of the year. So we really hope you're enjoying the Werewolf series so far. We did it strategically for the spooks.
Yeah, it works out great. And it's funny too, because you'd think, oh, like Tasker, you don't like scary things. Why do you like October? And I answer with this, that actually fall is my favorite season. Like, I think it's that perfect medium between it's not too hot, it's not too cold. You know, like my birthday's coming up in a little bit. December's cool. I don't like hot weather. And you know what? Halloween's, it's scary, but like, you know what? We get some cool stories. So you know what? I'm down for it.
He's down for it. It's his Goldilocks season.
Yes.
Yeah. He's looking for that porridge. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. It's a wonderful time, I think, for everybody, which, by the way, I don't think HFO is a term that most people are familiar with.
Oh, yeah. So when we called you guys HFO practitioners, HFO is hands-free orgasm. All right. So basically what you're able to do is you have such a control over your body and mind and the connection between them that you can just finish without touching anything. That is so if you can do that, props to you guys.
It's funny because it's like a complete reversal of like what you would normally do to become a monk. Because like normally it's like you got to abstain from everything, but this is like instead abstaining from everything else to become one with the nut.
One with the nut. That's a good way to put it. But technically, you're not masturbating, so it's not a sin.
Technically,
if you're
not
worried about that shit. You're not touching anything.
You can go to heaven. For all you know, it's just like you're just shooting a load.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, just to clarify, that HFO had nothing to do with UFOs, as far as we know.
I'm pretty sure they can make them have an HFO by sticking probes up there, hitting the prostate just right. You know what I mean?
There's actually been actual stories of people getting prostate exams. And when it was a post where it was just like, if you ever think of, okay, now you listener, think about this. Think of the most embarrassing thing you've probably ever done. And this guy says, okay, now compare that to my experience where I had a prostate exam. I nutted, fell over, and like knocked everything over in front of the male doctor.
That sounds awesome, man.
So, I mean, hey, teach their own. Some of you, that might just be a fun Sunday. I mean, I don't judge. You just enjoy your life to your fullest. It's October.
It's October, you guys. Come on, HFO. It's time.
So, we'll kick things off, though, as our usual go-to. What's your horror scope? Because it's October.
Look how tongue-in-cheek we are here at Close Encounters.
How funny we are.
All right. Well, if you're having trouble tackling a giant problem, Cancer, don't get discouraged or overwhelmed. The key for you is to break things down into smaller chunks, analyze them, and figure out their role within this greater whole. you will find that by taking things one step at a time, any problem you encounter will be infinitely easier to overcome than you may have thought at first. Definitely applicable to me. Tasker and I went out to brunch before the recording today, and I got a massive burger. I was like, how the hell am I going to fit this in my mouth, right? I broke it apart a little bit, squished it down, took it bite by bite. Lo and behold, it's all in my stomach now. So I would say I did a good job tackling that big problem.
That thing was gigantic, too. It was like a fatty breakfast burger.
Oh, so good.
So yeah, no, accurate. And it's kind of nice, too, when sometimes these horoscopes are not like grand scheme life decisions. Sometimes it's just about eating a burger properly.
Yeah. How do you get the burger down your fucking gullet? I figured it out.
Yep, bit by bit.
You cut it in half, you squish it down, and you take little chipmunk bites. You take little chipmunk bites like that just to get it down.
I know you've been going really hard on the ASMR lately. Good for you.
I'll come up with new ways, new things. That's it. I would say it's pretty accurate. And I agree. I like that it wasn't like a life-changing decision that my horoscope was based off. It was just, how do I fit this burger down my big fat neck? And I figured it out.
Figuring out all the secrets of life. So let's see if mine does the same. Suppose you were someone else for a day, Scorpio. How would it feel to be treated the way you normally treat other people? This is a good time to put yourself in someone else's shoes and experience life through their eyes. By doing this, you're apt to become more conscious of your own actions and the effect of those actions on the people around you.
Are you planning on having a sex change anytime soon, or
not in the books. I suppose I was somebody else. So I need to treat people more the way I want to be treated.
I guess so.
Have I been kind of dickish lately?
Not to me, at least. I don't know. Have you been a dick to people on the streets?
Let's see. Oh, actually, no, back to brunch. I said some very unsavory things about somebody from my past. So,
oh, yeah.
Actually, God damn
but he deserved it.
He did deserve it,
So.
but that's but maybe horoscope's right. Maybe I do need to kind of take a minute and be like, okay, maybe I do need to kind of consider their. I felt like I was being pretty fair. I feel like I tried to consider their position, or was I just roasting them?
We just always roast it.
Yeah, this is very true. Okay. Well, okay. I'll take the a-hole award today.
Yeah, here you go. This is for you. Put it up on your wall. A-hole award goes to Alex Tasker.
And it's in full 3D printed detail. You see the whole sphincter.
The whole chocolate starfish.
Exactly. It's got a little hose in it too, so you could like pump out whatever you want.
Oh, speaking of chocolate starfish and buttholes, today's episode is nothing terrible. All right, well, and we are not the type of podcast to put a trigger warning up because this is not Tumblr. All right, we don't do that shit.
Nope.
I will say, if you have children in the room listening to this and it's on speaker for some reason, I know a couple of you do that, which thank you. I'm glad that children are learning the truth as well. But there is some stuff in here that is belongs in a horror movie. So if you don't want them to hear that, just know that. Also, if you do want them to hear that, I admire your parenting skills and turn it up. All right.
Yeah, exactly. And if you're listening to like your Google Home, your Alexa, or this is a really fun one. Alexa, play Close Encounters of the Podcast Kind. Dude, if that works, I swear to God, we should just start doing every episode like that. That's like how streamers will have it on, and then somebody will donate and we'll just put like, Alexa, what's my location? And then they start freaking out.
Oh, dude, we're just hacking into people's Alexas.
Hey, gotta get those clicks.
All right, guys. Well, welcome back. Super excited to be here, as you know, and we are doing part 2 of historical werewolves. So in part 1, we discovered some of the mythological origins. We didn't discover it. I'm not Indiana Jones. We discussed it. All right. We discussed some of the mythological origins of werewolves leading into the werewolf hysteria of early Europe. Now, in this episode, we will be going over and discussing different werewolf cases from that period, as well as ways to spot a werewolf in their human form and how to protect yourself from them. Now, without further hesitation, let's lead into October and begin eating people like we should be as werewolves. And let's dive right into this.
And you said there was going to be more blood in this one, right?
There's going to be blood.
Good. Okay. Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of children's blood.
Okay. Because, I didn't want us to false advertise because we always do that. We hype up part 2 always a lot more. And It's just, what if part 2 ended up being like worse than the first one?
What if it was just furry fanfic and I just fucking trolled all of you?
It's just like we're just doing it as usual. Suddenly it just cuts and you hear this like smooth voice who's like, and so I unhooked the collar and threw it to the ground, and I leaned over and got my silky, soft, moist nose and stuffed it deep up there. Okay, see, we Fortunately for you, we're not doing that.
Or unfortunately for you, I don't know.
Yeah.
Depending on who's listening.
Somebody, it's weird. I just even think of like the furry episode you did a while back. I think back like somebody out there must have enjoyed it.
Or been offended by it.
Completely.
Mathematically, we have to have at least one furry listener.
Right.
I don't know how they stuck with us this long, man, but I am never going to stop roasting them. So
I think it goes by the theory of keep your enemies close. Keep your friends close, keep your enemies closer.
yeah, I could see that.
Getting intel on us. So as you know, this is, obviously werewolves, we're dancing a little close to that line today. So if you have been a furry who feel like you have been subjugated by us, this may be your day to shine.
Yep, you can come on out of the woodworks now and start barking or whatever the fuck you guys do. I don't know.
But after next week, we're going right back to where we were.
Yeah, exactly. All right, well, the first werewolf tale on today's episode is a fairly well-known one out of Germany in the mid-1500s. And this werewolf goes by many names. At least his last name is spelled in many ways, but I will be calling him Peter Stube. Stube. Stubbe.
Oh, it just makes me think of Stubbs barbecue sauce. That shit's delicious.
It's great.
So good.
And I have a sugar-free one, too.
Weird.
It's good, but it's good.
Oh, yeah. I think they actually have an actual restaurant, like the Stubbs. Like, I think it's like a barbecue joint.
Is he missing legs or something? What do they call him? Stubbs?
I think it was like he was like a musician, and you know how they had like cool like jazz nicknames?
Oh, Stubbs.
I could be wrong. I'm being totally racist and ignorant right there, but
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Oh, because he's black, he plays jazz? That's fucking racist.
I wasn't going to say it, but
That's racist.
Okay.
So, Peter Stube was born in Bedburg, and it was just outside of Cologne, and this was in 1525. Now, growing up, he always had a fascination with the occult, magic, and sorcery. Does it sound like somebody you know?
I'm just picturing a barbecue man living in a place that sells fancy cologne. That's the picture in my head right now.
Okay, well, I was insinuating myself, but
yeah, I know. Yeah, I know that. I can't get over because the Stubbs barbecue sauce. That's the picture of the guy in front, and now I can only just see him.
We just finished eating, and you're already thinking about barbecue sauce. Huh?
It's good sauce.
It's great sauce, but
Yeah.
I'm full to the brim, dude. My butthole is fluttering right now.
Oh yeah, because you actually finished. I saved my other half of my breakfast burrito for later.
Because you're a quitter.
Yeah, no, because I plan for my future.
Whatever, man. There will always be more food. Eat what's in front of you.
Yeah, that's
shove it in your mouth, even if you're not hungry anymore.
That's the real American dream.
Amen. Now, Peter would practice necromancy in order to commune with demons. His ultimate goal was to get a hold of Satan himself and demand a way to transform into a wolf, only so he could kill all of the men, women, and children around him in the village.
Holy shit.
That was his ultimate goal. Like, he wasn't like, I want to do it because it would be cool. I want to do it so I could run really fast. No, he told them, I just want to kill people.
Yeah, and get away with it and just
Yeah.
Wow. It's like you can almost say like it's not full-blown psychopathy because if he was a full-blown psychopath, he just would have done it anyways. But at least, he tried to, find a plausible excuse.
Exactly. Well, we'll see how this goes.
It could be worse, yeah.
You'll see,
for now.
You'll see how this turns out.
Uh-oh.
So Peter eventually did get the ability to transform into a wolf because Satan gave him a wolf fur belt with and this belt was able to transform him into a wolf. And here is a little excerpt from his trial, which shows what happened when Peter put on the belt. Quote, it transformed him forthwith. Oh, you know what? This is in Germany, right?
Yes.
Quote, it transformed him forthwith into the likeness of a greedy, devouring wolf. It was strong and mighty, with great eyes, which in the night sparkled most sharp and cruel teeth. No sooner should he put off his girdle, but the mighty paws would again become hands, and presently he would appear in his former shape as if he had never changed. Unquote.
Wow, good job, Hans.
Thank you. So basically what happens is it would turn him into a wolf, and then they were describing that when he would take the girdle or the belt off, it would turn him right back into a human. So this is an interesting thing we come across here, and it was actually very, well, as you'll see later on, it was actually quite common, is having a magic wolf belt that turns you into a werewolf that you can take on and off.
I could use one of those.
I would totally use one of those.
Yeah.
I would do it. Oh my God. What if there was a wolf condom, right? And every time I put it on, I turn into a werewolf.
That'd be interesting. I just see the utility of like, you're like working your shift and you just kind of want to go home and you're like sick of it. I don't really want to like call out sick or anything like that. So just go to the bathroom, pop it on. Holy fuck, there's a werewolf. Everyone freaks out and stuff. And in the panic, you take it off and you're just like, where'd it go? I'm so scared.
Oh no, where'd the werewolf go? I'm just standing there naked holding like a furry condom. Yeah. What's scarier at that point?
No, what if they made it where it's like one of those like tail butt plug things? So it's like, how bad do you want it?
Dude, we're gonna buy one of those.
I did see a post one time where it's like somebody had like one of those in, and somebody's like, "Yeah, all it takes is one curious kid in the cereal aisle to lead to a blown out asshole." Like we said, it's explicit.
Explicit. This is an explicit podcast, and it's going to be very explicit today. All right, we're going to be talking about buttholes. We're going to be talking about wolf buttholes.
Oh, this is a good one. I can already feel it.
Now, for most of Peter's spree as a werewolf, the townsfolk were none the wiser, and they saw him as just some Joe Schmo living down the way in the village. Kind of a weird guy, but he kept to himself.
Mm-hmm.
But right under their noses, Peter would transform into a werewolf in order to stalk and kill anyone who rubbed him the wrong way or angered him.
So was he conscious about when he was in a werewolf form, or will we get to that?
He was. From what it sounds like, he was able to kind of target people, but in an animal but he wasn't quite himself. He was still super aggressive, animalistic, blah, blah, blah. But he was able to know who he was going after.
So if you had like a goal in mind, you just have that in your head. Then when you transform, it's like you can retain that at least.
That's what it sounds like. Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
It's pretty dope.
Yeah.
I mean, it gets worse though. So I shouldn't say it's dope. We'll see.
Right now it's dope.
Right now it's dope. But those weren't the only people who Peter the werewolf would kill. His favorite victims were actually women and children. So during his court proceedings, Peter would go on to say that with the women and children, he would remain in his human form to, quote, ravish them in the fields, unquote, and then transform into the wolf in order to kill them and mutilate the bodies. So...
yeah, slightly less cool now.
Not very cool.
Yes.
No, so it's not cool, man.
Yeah, it was cool first. It was metal, and then it just got mean.
Yeah, you can't just start ravishing people in the fields. That's not something that we can do.
Yeah.
And I think it was an extra slap in the face that he would do it in his human form and then transform into the wolf to kill them.
Yeah, that's just cocky.
That's just rude.
Yeah.
That's not nice.
Yeah, that's a no.
That's a big no. Yeah, I'm glad that we're on the same page.
Explaining in ways that we can understand.
Yes. Yeah. So we didn't use the R word.
Nope.
You're welcome.
See, we can be cool guys.
I am using it later in the episode, though.
You gotta, like we said, explicit.
And when these poor souls were discovered, their bodies were so badly mutilated that authorities had every reason to believe that only a massive and savage beast could have killed them. Throughout the duration of a small killing stint, and I say small because in perspective, it was small compared to his other sprees. He was accused of killing 13 young women and ate a pretty high percentage of their bodies.
Gross.
Yes. Well,
just foot tacos all day.
We discussed this last time. It tastes like pork.
Yeah.
If getting, what is this, fucking South Carolina? if gotten under the right conditions, it's legal, and I would try it.
Right.
But you shouldn't kill people to eat them.
Yeah, well,
that's bad.
And also too, he's eating it and that's he's eating it raw too. Like he's he's full blown animal at this point. So it's like, I don't know. I think this is a gray area we're in right now.
This is it's definitely a gray area.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty black and white. I don't know.
This is a terrible rediscussion of cannibalism.
We're not bringing it up. We can't get back into it, man. I don't want people to think I was pro Donner Party.
They did what they had to.
Fuck them. So Unfortunately, two of these 13 women were pregnant, and he tore the unborn children out of their wombs. He would then go on to eat their heads raw.
Isn't that a South Park episode with Christopher Reeves?
Yes, they probably referenced it pretty hard.
I could see that.
There was another case in which Peter attacked two men and a woman who were traveling from town to town and happened to cross Bedburg. Big mistake. The bodies of the two men were found bloodied and mutilated, but the woman was never found. And that was later discovered to be because he just ate her. He ate her and they couldn't find the body.
Nah, no bones, no nothing, huh?
Nothing.
Wow, that takes a special kind of hungry.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, we get wings all the time, and like, yeah, we've never gotten so far to eat the bone.
No, if I was starving, I might eat the bones, but we're not starving.
Yeah, plus it's really pokey.
It's very pokey. It's bad on your insides, dude.
Yeah, can't do that.
Ugh. Kind of hungry again, though.
You're welcome.
So Peter was such an animal that he even killed his own firstborn son in his wolf form and ate his brains during the process.
Wow.
Yeah.
This has really gotten darker and ever darker.
Yeah, see, now it's not cool. Now it's not, well, it's still metal, but it's not cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I agree. I like this gauge of like, you can be metal, but there's like cool metal. Then there's just like, okay, it's still metal. We can acknowledge that, but it's kind of not cool. It's kind of mean, bro.
It's rude.
Yeah, it's impolite.
It's impolite. What an imposition this guy's being.
So rude.
Eventually, Peter was found out and captured because a group of men and their hunting hounds were tasked with finding the wolf who had recently been seen carrying off a small boy from his family farm. The hunting party heard the boy's cries coming from some bushes near the farm, and they poked their heads in to see the boy, and a giant wolf. But right before their eyes, the wolf transformed into Peter Stube, who they knew was a citizen of Bedburg.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Talk about a slip up.
Yeah, he fucked up.
Yeah, that's just bad timing.
That's just lazy werewolfery.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
So the men took him to the authorities for questioning, and the authorities threatened Peter with the rack. But before they could technically finish their threat, he had no issue confessing to multiple crimes, including being a werewolf, a sorcerer, rapist, an incestuous adulterer. As a side note, I didn't go into a great deal about this, but he did sexually abuse his own daughter and have a baby with her. Yeah.
Wow.
So he was, he was also an incestuous adulterer and was tried for that.
A little bit of everything, huh?
He was, you know what? He was the jack of all trades.
Yeah, in the not cool way.
Not cool. Remember, guys, this is not a guide. This is not like a, hey, how do I become a werewolf from early 16th century Germany? No,
Right.
This is not. Look, you don't want to be doing this stuff. Look, leave the kids alone.
Yeah.
Leave your daughter alone. I see you looking at your daughter. Fucking stop looking at your daughter like that, bro. Second, werewolves are cool.
Yeah.
Not these kind of werewolves, though.
Yeah, no, this guy is just kind of a jackass.
He's just kind of an asshole.
Yeah. But you can all rest easy because, like, what was the whole thing? It's like Satan gave him the belt and stuff.
Yeah, he got it from Satan.
Yeah, when I saw it, I'm like, okay, thank God, it's a fictional story. Like,
No,
okay,
this is real.
I feel good. I feel a lot better now.
Unfortunately, this is real.
Right.
There is testimony about it being real. The hunting party who saw him in the bushes swore to their graves that they saw him transform from a wolf back to his human form.
How do you know it wasn't just like you know how cosplaying is nowadays? You can look like you're like having the big old suit thing. How do you know he wasn't just a very talented seamstress?
Because I'm pretty sure there wasn't anime to cosplay back then, dude. Nobody was cosplaying. They were worried about living until the next winter.
Well, yeah, but this is a guy who's made it his whole life goal. It was transfixed on murdering other people.
And he found a way to do it. He contacted Satan. It's not that hard to contact Satan.
He made a suit and just started chasing everyone around. And then when he did his fancy little quick change out of it, suddenly they're like, he's transforming because of Satan.
What is he, a magician?
Yeah.
Burt Wonderstone? You think he could just fucking come in and out of a suit in front of people's eyes and they actually think it happened?
Why couldn't he? Practical effects were a thing. Maybe he had a real talent for it.
Not in the 16th century.
Yeah, it could very much have.
No.
Yeah, because
there was no such thing as entertainment. There was no such thing.
all the reason why the people fell for it. Like, why would they? Why? Okay, dude. When practical effects became a thing, it was because they made it very clearly it was a thing. But back then, if you figured or discovered anything remotely close to practical effects and you did it, they would think you were a fucking witch or, I don't know, a shape-shifting werewolf. So who's to say he didn't have a practical effects thing that worked and maybe he stumbled on it by mistake? But the reason why it never got caught on because people were so fucking scared of him because they thought it had to do with Satan.
I'm sick and tired of your fanfic about this situation. All right, you're thinking that some fucking psychopath from 16th century Germany was the only person in the world at the time that knew how to do practical effects. What is he, Tom Savini? You think that he could just start pulling this shit out of his ass and freaking people out?
I think he was the only one who because that's the thing is you figure out how to do shit like that. You say, I better not fucking do this in person because people are going to think I'm a witch because they're not going to listen to my explanation. This guy wanted to kill people, so he didn't give a fuck what they thought about him. He just wanted to get away with murder.
Look, it was real. It happened. You gotta accept the fact. I'm not going to accept your fanfic. I'm not going to accept your twist of the story where you think that there has to be a practical explanation for this. Being a werewolf is practical enough. Lycanthropy is practical. It is real, and it happened, and it was much more prevalent back then.
Yeah, because there was no cameras or way to prove it.
Yep.
Yeah, weird, huh? Weird.
Okay, but like I was saying,
he was being tried right now.
He was tried for multiple crimes.
And what's in the rack? Is that the thing where it's like your arms are out and your head's in the middle thing, and it's a giant like wooden plank, and everyone throws tomatoes at you?
No, the rack is a lot worse than that. The rack is there's two different types. There's one where you're just on a table, or there's one where you're on a wheel, and they strap you in, and they start turning the crank. And they start turning a little bit more. And then all of a sudden, what's that? Oh, my shoulders are dislocating. Ooh. And then, oh, what's that? Oh, my fucking hips are popping out. And then, boom, all your fucking shit gets ripped off.
Oh, okay. So it's just pulling your arms and your legs. It's like the stretchy, the old torture stretch things.
Yeah, exactly. That's the rack. Yep.
Oh, okay. I just got my terms mixed up. Okay. Yeah. I know about those. Those are always in like the old cartoons.
Yeah.
It's really fucked up. And I didn't think about it.
Look, as somebody who's dislocated their shoulder 3 times, let me tell you, it's not fun. And then try and picture that happening to every single one of your limbs at the same time. Ooh. Slowly, too.
Yeah, that's
Lord.
Like being drawn and quartered. Yeah.
That's brutal.
One of these days we'll have to I know it has nothing to do with the paranormal, but one of these days, if y'all could just indulge us, I would love to do an episode on like medieval torture devices.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, maybe like, I don't know, maybe Halloween next year or just one day we feel extra frisky.
Yeah, if you guys want that, we'll do it because that sounds bloody and fun.
Yeah, even better. Not to like plan future episodes during an episode. This is how meta we get now. How funny would it be if we did it on like fucking like Valentine's Day or just like some like some day that's normally not known for being bloody and we just do it then.
That'd be awesome.
That could be fun.
That'd be so romantic.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, stay tuned, everyone. We'll see. We'll see.
Okay, but like, yes, he was being tried for these crimes, okay? Rightfully so. They were pretty fucked up crimes.
Yeah.
In his defense, he was a werewolf at the time. All right? I'm just kidding. No, there's no defense. But you want to know how fucked up the medieval or the Middle Ages were? Not only was he tried, but for some goddamn reason, so was his daughter. The one that he knocked up, raped, and impregnated.
Why? Just for being a woman?
As an accessory, they said. I don't...
What?
Yeah.
God, that's so dumb.
Yeah, it was... those were bad times to be a woman.
Yes, absolutely. It's like, yeah, you pretty much just got charged for existing.
Yep. Kind of like in India right now.
Is that a thing in India right now?
It is. Yep. India is all fucked up about that, man. Look, there's news stories coming out of India about women who were raped being thrown in prison.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because I also know, too, wasn't there, like, possible tension between them and China? Like, they might, like... I mean, there's nothing really... Like, I heard, like, they had, like, a border dispute or something like that.
Look, I don't know. I don't keep up with that shit. All I do know is that I refuse to take moral guidance from a country who still throws their shit in the streets from their windows. I refuse.
We don't need
2020, and you guys don't have working water over there.
That dude, we have the same problem in San Francisco. There's literally somebody who developed an app so you can change your walking route so you don't have to walk past human shit.
Yeah, but not the biggest, not one of the biggest countries in the world.
I don't know. I think it's
They all just decide to throw their shit out of the window. Did you know that? Do you know why there's dysentery over there?
I think that's a generalization. I don't think that's all over.
It's all over India. India is a backwards country, dude. Trust me. You can't drink the water. You can't eat the food.
You can't do that in Mexico.
Yeah, but Mexico's fucked up too. Look,
Mexico's pretty fucked up.
The last time I went down to Mexico, which was a long time ago, by the way, I refused to go back,
right.
is because I went to a resort and there were men with assault rifles there to protect the tourists from the cartel.
Yep.
Does that sound like a progressive, futuristic country to you?
I actually did go to Mexico one time, and yeah, at the resort, you got big dudes with assault weapons at the front because they didn't want us to get raided and kidnapped.
Yep, good times. Gotta love it, man. But you know what? It's not their fault. It's not the citizens' fault.
No.
We're not blaming you. We're not making jokes about it. Look, I'm passionate about this. India's gross.
But if the people had a choice otherwise, they probably wouldn't be.
Yeah, well,
I mean, I can't say I've never been there.
Me neither.
There's places, I mean, just like anywhere, there's shitty. This is a horrible discussion.
This might get cut. I don't know. But I will end it by saying, India, get your shit together. No pun intended. Get some fucking plumbing in there.
Okay.
Dude.
The only way I'm going to keep this in is you need to say something nice about Indian people.
I really like that dot on your forehead. It's like, it's a nice accessory color to the bright, vibrant colors of your fabrics. And
say you like curry, because I know you do.
I do like curry and tikka masala when it's made in America and I don't get dysentery from it.
Okay, you're taking a step back, but we'll take it. Let's move on.
All right. Well, on Halloween of 1589, Peter was stretched on the wheel, and they used red-hot metal pincers to rip flesh from his body in 10 different places. His arms and legs were then cut off using an axe after they were dislocated by the wheel, and he was finally decapitated at the end. Then they burnt all of his remains except for his head. Now, what's up?
That's thorough.
With werewolves, you got to be sure. And back in the day, they were very sure about killing werewolves.
Mm-hmm. And it's crazy too, because one could argue back then, it's because if you murdered people, especially multiple people, you had a very agonizing end. And one could argue it was a more fitting punishment, but obviously no, it's a human rights violation and there's no way that would fly nowadays. I just think it's interesting that back then, if somebody murdered somebody you loved, you had every right to not only murder them back, but in the most painful way possible.
Here is something that I've talked about running for president on this podcast before. All right. And right now with Papa Trump, with COVID in the hospital, if he doesn't make it, good old Uncle Biden's going to need somebody to run against him. Right.
Right.
I will do it because I am not corrupted by the government like these other people. One thing that I will instate is I believe that people who commit murder, not out of self-defense and for their own gain or through their sick, deprived need to slaughter the innocent.
Right.
I believe that we should, yes, use capital punishment, but I also believe that they should be killed the same way they killed their victim. That would be kind of cool. An eye for an eye.
We're in metal again. Eye for an eye.
For instance, if a dude like Richard Ramirez, right? If he broke into somebody's house and he stabbed some chick to death and, had his way with her. Mm-hmm. Well, guess what, buddy?
They rent out a blank apartment. They just tie him down. All right, man, I'll see you tonight.
All right. Get your condoms ready because here it comes. Yeah, so that's what I think. Okay, that was rude. All right.
Why would they wear Never mind. Okay.
I don't know what that guy has.
That's true.
I'm not going to be the one doing it. I'm the president. I don't have to do that. I'm past that point.
I just think that's such a funny concept because there's probably going to be a squadron of people who have to enact the punishment.
Yeah.
And, putting psychopaths to work, I guess.
Yeah. See, if they redeem themselves, they can work for me.
Mm-hmm.
God, I'm going to be such a good president.
There is an essay we could write about how horribly wrong all of that is. So
I will move on. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Okay, so now some of you may be wondering, why did they keep his head? Remember, they burnt all of his remains except for the head.
Yeah, what is up with that?
Well, they decided to put up some kind of monument to pay respects to the 15 confirmed victims of Peter the Werewolf, which included a plaque depicting the wolf, 15 wooden portraits around it to help portray the 15 victims, and at the top, the impaled head of the werewolf of Bedburg.
I love how that was just like impaling the head was just such a like, and what a great throwback to historical vampirism where we talked about Vlad the Impaler. He used to eat around all of the impaled bodies of his victims.
Exactly. Yeah. So look, we are on an Inception level episode series here. All right.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys don't understand the genius,
The layers.
the layers.
Yeah, it was just crazy back then. Like you walk by, like, oh fuck, that's a severed head. But oh yeah, that's the guy who fucking murdered a shit ton of people and like had relations with his own daughter. Like fuck this guy, and you just spit on it and you walk away. And that was a day to day. If I saw a severed head tomorrow, I don't think I'd be able to sleep for a year.
I think it depends on whose head it is.
Yeah. Okay. I'm trying to think of what would make it like a little bit more okay.
What if you saw my severed head?
Well, I'd be mad because I mean the fucking podcast is I gotta find another host and shit, and like I don't fucking probably don't get custody of Kiwi anymore.
Yeah, sorry.
Fucker. Yeah, no, it's got to be somebody like. Okay, even if it was like somebody, I mean, obviously I can't give names because that's mean, but like, okay, I'm trying to think of like the person I like. Well, I don't know. I feel like there's people I don't like, but nobody I would like enjoy seeing them dead. Like it's still like. I think it would even be even worse because I know them. Like it would be better if there was just somebody I didn't know.
That's fair. Would you touch it?
No, I would not touch it.
I don't know, man.
Fucking disgust. That's like saying you would touch roadkill. It's just dead thing that's been out there.
Have you never touched roadkill?
No, have you?
No, but I did watch a documentary about a guy in England who only eats roadkill, and it was very intriguing. It's a cheap way to eat.
Well, yeah, because you got to fucking pull all the rubber bits out of it and whatever shit stepped on it and maggot. That sounds disgusting.
I know we just ate.
Yeah,
but I'm fucking hungry again, man.
This episode's having the opposite intended effect.
It gets a little bit worse.
Oh, good.
So that was the end of Peter Stube.
That's a good one. That was a good one.
That's a good one. He's a horrible man. But that's a really, really good representation of werewolves in early Europe, and that's one of the most popular ones.
Yeah, well, it's like with people who, if you desire to be a werewolf outside of just like, 'cause I know you just want to run around and like, you know, maybe occasionally eat somebody, but like,
yeah,
this dude has like, you know, for as malicious as you try to come off as, I know deep down it would be like one or two people probably.
And I would do it just because I'm trying to eat, man.
Yeah, just because you're hungry and you didn't, you know, you're stuck in the instinct kicks in.
Yeah, I'm an animal.
Yeah, this dude was just out for murder, and this guy wanted to make them suffer, and he just like, you know, because there are people out there who just legitimately like, you know, I enjoy art. That makes me happy. I know you enjoy World of Warcraft. You enjoy heavy metal music, and you also enjoy writing shit too. I mean, outside of, you know, your basic diabolical enjoyment, that stuff, you know, gives you that like that serotonin shot.
Yeah.
Some people out there, they only get their serotonin from hearing somebody yelp in pain, by seeing somebody suffer. And that is like their hobby. Like that's fucking terrifying.
And there are a lot of people out there like that. Serial killers operating today, I'm sure, are like that. So everybody be careful. Look, I don't want to make you paranoid, but there are werewolves among us.
I think there's other things you need to be a little bit more wary about, but like sure.
Tax evasion.
Yeah, you should yes, you should definitely file your taxes. Okay. What's the next one?
All right, well, on to our next tale. And it is about a werewolf named Jean Grenier.
Wow.
Yeah, from 1610. And I want you guys to go ahead and try to guess which country this is from by the name that I just said. Go ahead and guess. Jean Grenier. You know what's really fucked up too is we have a new listener in France.
Well,
look, man, I'm sorry.
There he goes.
If I'm gonna mispronounce a lot of stuff in the next two stories because they're both from France. All right.
Yeah, and I hear French is one of the most difficult. Like, I remember somebody was saying, like, yeah, it's like even if like you like tried to like learn like French right now, it would take you like 10 years to get the grammar right because it's so like all over the place.
I took a half semester in high school of French.
Oh, that's right. You were one of the few that took French while everyone else took Spanish.
Yeah, I thought it would be cool, right?
Yeah, that was that.
The teacher was the worst person I've ever met in my life. I flipped a desk halfway through the semester and I quit. All right.
Was she the one who she was like that like huge stick up her ass lady? And I had her as a sub and she was like the devil.
Yeah, she was the worst. All right. I had anger issues. It was horrible. Look, the point of the story is French is a super, super, super hard fucking language.
Right.
I'm going to mispronounce everything that I say, except I'm pretty sure I got Jean right. That was pretty smooth.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah.
And I'm sure if he or she wants to reach out, our French listener can let me know how shitty it was.
Yep,
because it's
exactly.
going to be bad. And I'm sorry, but I'm doing it. Look, nobody's off limits. I got to make fun. Okay, let's move on. Let's move on. All right.
Can't wait to receive our like that letter from France, which is like the cease and desist. Like,
yeah, it's like from the French government.
Yeah. We love having you here.
Yes, thank you for listening. Well, how did they speak English over there?
In France, yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, not everybody, but yeah, most people in Europe usually are trilingual.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, usually they speak French, English, and Spain Spanish.
Well,
no, Italian. But Italian and Spanish are pretty close.
That's true. Romantic languages.
Yes.
Well, French listener, bonjour, ça va? Bien? Ça va bien. All right, let's move on.
Yeah, good job.
That's all I remembered.
way to appeal.
Thank you. In 1610, a judge from Bordeaux, France, named Pierre Delancre. Oh, God.
I'll take it.
Was that good? Pierre Delancre.
Pierre Delancre. I feel like I'm choking.
I'm just going to call him Pierre.
Yep.
Pierre went to visit the monastery of the Cordeliers in order to check out some lycanthropy action that had been taking place there for 7 years.
So far, a good start.
The alleged werewolf, a man named Jean Grenier, had supposedly attacked many victims in the form of a giant wolf, or so the witnesses say. In Judge Lancre's in Judge Pierre's investigative journal, in his investigative journal, he remarked that Grenier confessed to being a werewolf. He also claimed that he craves human flesh, especially if that flesh happened to be from little girls. I love little girls, they make me feel so good.
I love that. What is it? The deep fake where they have Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah.
Like that song. He has like the head turn and like the little like head nod and stuff. It's fucked up.
Oh, it's so good. Grenier was noted to have, even in his human form, long, sharp fingernails and fang-like canine teeth.
This sounds like he got busted for being like a cannibal pedo and I'm a werewolf. Sorry, I can't help it. It's not my fault. I turned into a giant wolf.
But how do you explain the teeth and the nails?
I have sharp canines, and
Let me open your mouth. Yeah, but you don't have like wolf-like ones. He apparently had some protruding ass, long, sharp ass canines, perfect for little girl throats.
Yeah, that's not like that doesn't prove anything.
It proves it to me, man.
Yeah, well,
those are dental records.
There's a fucking guy in India who has like that might be completely wrong, but he has the finger. You know the ones that are so long in the Guinness Book of World Record, the famous guy.
Yeah, I've seen the pictures.
Yeah, so we can have long shit. It's not the first time it's happened.
That's what happens when you live in India, man.
It's not what happens when you live in India.
There's too much shit in the streets. You can't go out and buy nail clippers.
No, that's not why that's not even close to why that happened.
Jean Grenier. He also walks very easily on all fours and actually preferred that to walking upright like a normal ass human.
I think he was just a fucking furry and a murderer at the same time.
Furries weren't around in 1610.
Yeah, that doesn't mean they better had a different name, but people still did it. Like you even when you went on that parade about people fucking sheep, like people, that's nothing new.
Yeah, maybe not in Ireland.
Yeah, but we're not talking about Ireland. We're talking about France. We haven't talked about France enough
because France is fine.
They have pastures. You don't know that. Like they could be there. There's plenty of a furry population over there.
There maybe. But they seem a little too sophisticated to have furries. Have you noticed that furries seem to not be the most elegant people on earth? And then when I think of France, I think of fancy-ass people with those cigarette holders, and there's wine flowing from waterfalls and fucking butterflies eating baguettes and like mustaches long enough to twirl around like the Eiffel Tower. That's what I picture when I think of France. When I think of furries, I think of white trash, fucking uneducated, drunk, high, early term birthed children who think that they're special snowflakes and think that dressing up like animals is going to be getting them love and attention, when really all they do is shit in diapers and throw those diapers at other furries for some reason and just start jizzing all over their fursuits. That's what I picture, man.
I think my favorite thing I picked out of this whole thing is that your like ideal paradise is just France.
I think I just want to go to France.
It's a city, though. It's like not everyone is sophisticated there.
No, but France is beautiful, man. It's got like cheese and
Yeah, in some parts. It's like fucking like saying like, you know, Britain's super cool, but dude, with fucking like back then, like Whitechapel and shit, where you get murdered on the streets.
just fucking that's metal.
It's metal, but
Jack the Ripper is the most metal person that ever lived.
yeah,
In a bad way. All right, you're not supposed to be cutting up prostitutes. That's bad.
Very
That's
bad.
naughty.
Yep.
But
But
he was mysterious.
didn't they DNA test him and figure out who he was? Or am I mistaken?
Now he's still unknown. Still unknown. And we probably, unfortunately, will never know who did it.
Yeah, and it might be for like, I don't know. I think it's good that we had that cold case because I think that's what inspired better detective work in the future.
Yeah, that's fair. Interesting point. Interesting point.
Mm-hmm.
Too bad this isn't a true crime podcast. You could have been going somewhere with that.
Yeah, we could have, but nope. We got to talk about
Werewolves.
Yep.
All right. Well, this is the account that the judge was given regarding Grenier and the beginnings of his werewolf shenanigans. I will, and I call them shenanigans very liberally.
We're trying to sweeten these a little bit. You know, we're getting because this is probably actually, is this the darkest we've ever gotten on a subject matter?
This is definitely the most gruesome. It's not that bad depending on your tolerance, but
Right.
it's still different than what we've done before. So.
If you're not used to it, so shenanigans. That's a fun word.
Shenanigans, yeah. So it all started in the spring of 1603, right? There was butterflies fluttering about and flowers were just starting to bloom. And we were in the region of Gascony, France.
Lovely, good,
Oui.
good picture, good setting.
Yes, yes. Little children began to mysteriously disappear throughout the region of Gascony, France.
Ooh, spooky.
Then one night, on a full moon, witnesses in a village observed in terror as Marguerite Boyer, a 13-year-old girl, was savagely assaulted by a wild creature that looked like a big wolf.
I don't know. This guy wasn't just hairy.
He could have been.
Yep.
The French, I don't know, man. They might be kind of hairy.
They could be. I don't know. And this is back then. This is the 60s. Like I said, dude, people fucking exaggerated shit all the time because there was no way to fully explain things. Oh, this is this big furry thing attacking. It could have been a coat.
It could have been a coat,
Yeah.
but I'm pretty sure it was a werewolf, and so were these people.
Sure. I just think it's an insanity plea, but go on.
Oh, just because they're from France, you think that they're all dumb and drunk, and you think that they didn't see that?
No,
That's rude.
No, I think it's because it was 1600 and this guy wanted to kill people and not get tortured for it.
All right, whatever. We're moving on.
Right.
Okay, look, the point is this little girl was attacked by a wolf. All right. Then, out of nowhere, another young boy at the ripe age of 13.
Do you really?
I don't know, man. We're in Europe. They do weird shit over there.
Sure.
So he was at a ripe age of 13.
Okay.
Confessed not only to the attack of Marguerite, but he also confessed to being behind the disappearance of the other children. And
Wait, the 13-year-old boy?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, he was so Jean Grenier was 13 years old when he confessed to this. And he said that he just straight up ate those other kids.
Okay, that changes. Oh, wow.
Yeah. But as a side note, the villagers previous to this believed the boy was, quote, mentally deficient, unquote.
Yeah, you got to be a little mentally deficient to reasonably think that eating somebody is a good idea.
Yeah, he was a special boy.
Yes.
He was a little special boy who just had a special desire.
Special little man, huh?
Yep, nice little special desire. But not nice. It was rude.
Yeah, terrible. No.
Impolite, like you would say.
Very impolite.
So it was Jean Grenier, a 13-year-old boy. Authorities were obviously baffled as to why and how this 13-year-old could have committed such crimes. Grenier replied by saying he was given a magical belt made of wolf skin. Again, we hear about this wolf skin belt.
Right.
And and could transform him and transform him. Damn, dude, what's wrong with me, man? And transformed him into a hulking, monstrous wolf. And something about these magical wolf belts is turning people into werewolves. I want to know, where do I get one?
Yeah, well, and that I think that's interesting too. That and that's something we could also get into later with because with these things, because these are in completely different parts of the world. This is now our third story that involves a wolf skin belt, right?
Second story, but there are technically last episode we did have one, yes. So this is our third one. It was a very common occurrence, which makes me think that there's a fucking wolfskin belt out there somewhere with Nick's name on it. Mm-hmm. And the society I live in right now has the audacity to hide it from me.
Now, and here's a little out of character for me, but riddle me this. What if, because, you know, obviously my big complaint has been, you know, why the fuck are there no more werewolves anymore? Like, that seems kind of dumb. That seems a little convenient for the story. So, playing a little devil's advocate here, but what if we're talking extraterrestrials that had the technology that could shapeshift somebody into like a beast-like creature form of yourself, and maybe they happen to leave it on Earth on accident and somebody picked it up, and then when they figured out, oh fuck, we left this shit and people have been using it, and obviously people who had it would try their best to hide it and shit like that. Maybe they came back and picked it up and no more wolfskin belt, no more werewolves.
I really like that angle you're taking. So you're telling me that aliens could possibly be the origin of werewolves.
If we're under the implication that aliens could have transmogrifying technology, transmogrifying, I think is the word, then yeah, that seems to me more plausible than Satan just hey, have fun.
I don't know, man. Look, you know me. I love aliens. I believe almost everything about aliens.
Right.
But there's something about me that just wishes that people were getting fucking cool ass belts from Satan. I don't know, man.
Oh yeah, you got your Slayer t-shirt on today and stuff, and your man bun. I don't think that has anything to do with Satan, but
hey, you're not supposed to tell the listeners I have a man bun.
Oh, what am I supposed to say? You have a fucking perm?
Yes. Like Rick James.
Yeah, right.
Okay, well, I like your idea.
Okay.
Don't get me wrong. I think I'm going to look into that.
Good.
He also said that he was given this belt as a gift from the, quote, master of the forest, unquote, who was just a big dude and he wore all black. And this was clearly Satan. Again, Satan, something to do with this belt.
Or
something
alien.
going on here. Or an alien that looks like John Wick. I don't know.
That's kind of dope.
Grenier then went on to say that every time he would transform into the wolf, his cravings to eat children intensified more and more each time. I get it. I know. I understand.
That's not a good thing to understand.
Oh. Yeah, right. But of course, he knew this was wrong. And we all know this is wrong, Tasker.
Yeah, it's terrible.
I was joking. You didn't say anything, which makes me think you were thinking about doing it.
Hey, you just throw your accusations wherever you need to.
So, Grenier tried to fight the hunger and feed it another way so we didn't have to kill and eat the children of France.
Oh, despite the fact he already took down 13. Nah, that's a good stopping point of I probably shouldn't do this.
Well, that was the one before.
What?
That was
oh no, so this wasn't Grenier, this was somebody else?
No, this is Grenier we're talking about, but the one Peter Stube killed 15.
Oh, but Grenier though, he killed 13 though at this point, right? Oh no, because
he's 13.
Okay, and that's when he got the belt. So
and he also ate that 13-year-old girl.
Got it. So this is before he did his killings though.
Yeah, this is how it all came to be.
Okay. Sorry, I got totally mixed up. Okay, so
I know you're thinking about eating kids and shit. I get it.
Yeah, it's exciting. It's just what I look forward to every day, obviously.
So, like I said, we know this is wrong, and he tried to find other ways to feed his hunger, and he attempted to satiate this hunger by killing dogs and chickens, eating their flesh and drinking their blood. But this only temporarily helped with his cravings, and he went on to kidnap and eat other children because he just couldn't help it.
13, man.
And I had to say other children in that sentence because technically he was a child doing this.
Yeah, absolutely.
So he was eating other kids.
That's crazy. I remember just trying to make my own Pokemon trading cards, like drawing them when I was 13.
Yeah, but this guy was out there just getting all kinds of puss, you know?
Yeah, well,
By force.
yeah. It's a arguable language, but you get the idea.
Yeah. That was poor choice of rhetoric.
Good job.
Thank you. Now, about his sentencing. Grenier was actually not sentenced to be burnt at the stake like most of his werewolf buddies from the same time period. The court believed that he was suffering from something we now call clinical lycanthropy and gave him a life sentence in a prison cell in the monastery of Bordeaux, France.
Clinical lycanthropy.
That is an actual medical diagnosis in psychology. It's something that I suffer from.
Right, yeah.
It is a plight. At night, I go out and I kill chickens by the dozen.
Okay.
I also mate with dogs, and then and I howl at the moon. So,
wow. I actually have no remark on that at all. I have nothing to say to that.
And our final story is that of the beast of Le Javaudan. Nice.
That was good. You were worried about that. I remember.
I was worried about that one, but hey, I feel like I'm going to fit right into my fantasy world in France.
That's like me believing that if I went to Japan, like everything is just like schoolgirls and superpowers and like sugoi. It's not. Everyone's actually just pretty miserable over there.
And this, of course, by the name of the beast, takes place in France.
Gotta be.
And during the 1760s, a werewolf, or a loup-garou, in early France, as remember we learned in our second episode back in the day.
Oh my God. Yeah, I was just about to say, I saw that on like loup-garou. Like, what is that? Is a fruit loop? You're right. No, the loup-garou.
Yeah, that's right. We're at the OG French werewolves we've been talking about in this episode. A little bit of a throwback to our older episodes.
Wow. It feels weird talking about it again. It's been almost a year.
Almost a year. That's fucking weird.
Nuts.
And you guys are still listening to this shit.
Yep.
We love you.
Yeah, please stay.
This beast was terrorizing the region of Le Javaudan. It's said that throughout its 3-year killing spree, the beast killed hundreds of people, and everyone else was living in absolute terror, wondering if they would be next every single night. It terrorized them, and it was a well-documented attack on this town.
Now, 3 years is a long time.
That's a long-ass time to be like, yo, should I go outside and get some firewood tonight? No, probably not, because I'll be eaten by a fucking werewolf.
Yeah, that's how long I lived in Long Beach when I went to college, was 3 years. And now I just imagine, okay, for that entire period of time, now just imagine there was this giant raging beast that would come out. And I used to go out, like, I remember when I lived on dorms on campus, there was a little soda machine nearby that I would grab during late night self-loathing during projects and stuff like that. And it could have been every time I went out to go get that soda, my life was, it was up for forfeit.
You could have been eaten alive by a werewolf any night for 3 years.
Being a werewolf on a college campus is probably the best place to be a werewolf because there's a lot of kids that'll just like, fuck it, whatever, dude. Like, just
do it, man. Just make it fast, bro.
Yeah, like, God, I got so much to do tomorrow. This is easier.
Now, this is an interesting tale from early Europe because it's one of the first accounts of a werewolf, which wasn't just a werewolf, but a hybrid werewolf, which we talked about in part 1 of the series. So it walked upright like a man.
So were the previous ones just straight up like full wolves then?
Yes.
Okay.
So what it seems to me so far is that the magic wolf belts that these people are luckily getting somehow is turning them into completely full wolves, just big ones. But this is the first one of the first ones we get to see from early Europe that's like, yo, it's a cool hybrid werewolf, hulking beast standing up on 2 legs, half man, half human. It's fucking awesome.
Sick.
Those who saw the beast and lived to tell the tale said it was large, bipedal, as we just mentioned, and covered in thick, dark fur, almost black.
Nah, you don't want to run into that in the middle of the night.
Hell no.
There is that just reminds me. Have you ever seen? It's a GIF where it just looks like it's like a shot of like a kitchen area or like a living room, and there's just like a hallway or something like that, and suddenly this big like thing just starts like charging at the screen. Have you seen that?
No. Is it a werewolf?
It could be because it just looks like it's just like a shot, and then it's just still, And you don't even know it's a GIF until suddenly this thing just like walks out and is charging.
Oh, that's dope.
Fucking hated it. It was one of those like bait and switches that happened. And at like 2 a.m., you're like, oh, okay, turn the lights on. I'm not going to sleep for another hour.
Well, they also said that the beast had large, sharp claws, which was evident when examining the bodies of the victims. The gashes were so deep that it was assumed the beast would drink the blood from the wound because a significant amount of blood would be missing from the body, but nowhere to be seen around it.
I wonder, because I always thought like the whole drinking blood thing was obviously disgusting, but like, I don't know. You think they think of it like kind of like how I think of like hot tea or hot coffee because it's like all like warm and stuff and you just like the flavor?
I don't know if it could be. Here's my take on blood drinking. All right. I'm sure everybody's been waiting 41 episodes to hear Uncle Nick's take on blood drinking.
Finally.
All right. There is a group of people on this earth called sanguinarians. Okay. Sanguinarians are modern vampires who believe that life energy flows within the blood of humans.
Yeah, it's called oxygen, but sure.
No, but like life energy, bro. You're thinking three-dimensionally. I'm talking about like some key like
what you gave to Goku when he was making the spirit bomb.
I couldn't tell you.
Yeah.
I could literally not tell you.
Fine.
But it seems to me that there is an obsession with blood because of the life that it gives our bodies.
Right.
But there's something deeper than that. It's not just the oxygen. It's not just keeping us alive by bringing oxygen to all of our organs and all of our shit. There's something in our blood that energizes, that brings a new, higher life force to those who drink the blood. And these sanguinarians believe that. And I think that certain types of creatures or people from back in the day realize this, like the werewolves. See, you automatically equate drinking blood to vampires. But there were a lot of cases like this where werewolves were also known to drink blood. There's something in the blood, man.
Interesting.
I don't know. I mean,
Or it's just a tasty snack to them.
it does taste not bad.
Yeah, and sanguinarians just got the idea completely wrong.
Probably. Yeah. If you guys are curious about that, go to sanguinarius.org. That is a website that you will make fun of for the rest of your life. All right.
Good plug.
Thank you. Okay. So a specific story of the beast of Le Javaudan was that of Pierre Chateauneuf.
Wow. Chateauneuf.
I think I did a pretty good job.
That's actually not bad at all.
Thank you. So Pierre, a lot of Pierres in these stories.
Mm-hmm. That's like the French equivalent of just John in America.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. Yeah, there's a lot of those out there. So Pierre Chateauneuf was a simple farmer man, and on the night of January 15th, 1765, his 15-year-old son went out to tend to the sheep, but he never returned, if you know what I mean.
I was going to say, that's probably why they didn't look for him. They didn't want to find him.
Yeah, find him fucking balls deep. And
That's fucking gross. I'm so glad I didn't live in this time when that was like a problem.
like, well, there's no ladies around, but the sheep are looking awfully thick.
That's fucking awful.
So he went outside toward the herd of sheep where his son last was supposed to be and stumbled upon the horribly mutilated body of his son, unfortunately. Now, he took the body inside to mourn, but when he set his son down on the table and looked out the window, Pierre said that he saw the werewolf staring through the window at him. And he grabbed the musket off the wall above him and swung it around to shoot at the beast through the window. But it ducked, and he quickly reloaded his musket and ran outside to take another shot, but the werewolf was already bounding away through the orchard, too far to shoot.
Well, at least he tried.
At least he tried to avenge his son. And also, in his defense, like everybody's probably like, "Oh man, what an idiot! He didn't get out. Like, how could you let him get away that fast? Do you know how long it takes to reload a fucking musket?"
Yeah, and also adrenaline's a hell of a drug. And one could say, like, even if you had the high, sharp focus of adrenaline or the opposite, it's still going to take you a good fucking, like, couple minutes before you're ready to even fire a shot, right?
Yeah, dude, it's horrible. Muskets suck, dude. You got to put the powder in, then you got to like shove it down and compact it with that like weird thing that's very phallic looking. And then you got to like get the pellet in there, make sure that's packed into the gunpowder. It's a whole thing.
I'm just imagining he's just like screaming like while he does like every step, like really articulately too.
And after many, many stories, just like the one that we talked about, coming to light between 1765 and 1767, the townsfolk were fed up with it, and a massive angry posse made up of a few hundred armed men was created in an attempt to track and hunt down the werewolf. The posse tracked the beast for a number of days and were able to surround it in some trees near a village called Le Serge de Vert.
You're doing a really good job with the French today. I mean, I could be completely wrong. We both look like assholes, but like...
I mean, if it sounds convincing, that's my number one job.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate now that there is somebody out there who can be like, that was fucking terrible.
Yeah, you fucking asshole. You idiots.
Let me try that one more time. So the village was called Le Serge de Vert.
Yeah, I mean, I'm convinced.
Cool. I'll take it. And feeling obviously threatened, the werewolf began to charge the men and was immediately opened fire upon. Naturally.
Right.
The men trailed off a bit after shooting the beast to read prayers, which is apparently something that they used to do a lot when they would kill somebody or something in a hunt. They would do their prayers for some reason.
It makes you think of Boondock Saints.
Yeah, kind of like that. Kind of like that where it's like almost out of respect, but you know, you're just
like,
kind of doing your duty.
Yeah,
know?
It's like we need to kill you, but we also are acknowledging that you are another living creature that is losing its life.
Exactly. Good way to put it. But a man named Jean Chastel, the one credited with killing the beast in the first place, looked up from the prayer and saw that the beast had gotten back up to its hind legs and was lumbering toward the group of men yet again.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Now, Jean was no fucking pleb. You know what I mean? He knew from ancient traditions that evil and beings created by evil could truly be harmed only with silver. So, just in case, right before they all went out to hunt the werewolf, he had one of his silver chalices smelted down and shaped into pellets for his musket and then blessed by a priest. He loaded the pellets into his musket, which probably took him about half an hour, and aimed at the werewolf's chest and fired. The first shot didn't take the beast down, but the second one did because it went directly into his heart. And the werewolf, he dropped fast. Like I'm talking like a sack of Irish potatoes fast. Insta kill.
See, I just think this... I mean, I don't think you're French at all, but like, I just see this being your descendant, like, or your ascendant, like, that just seems like something. It's like, I'm like knocking on your door. I'm like, Nick, we're getting a posse. There's a fucking wolf monster. We gotta fucking kill it. We don't know what the fuck's going on. You would be the type of motherfucker where before you go out, you smelt down some actual. He's like, wait a minute, I've studied this.
I've been waiting for this day.
Yep, and none of us know about it because you probably just do it like under the radar. And then we're all like getting fucked by this thing. We're like, it's not going down. And then you walk up and
boom, silver right to the heart, dude.
Yeah. As they say, crazy every single day of the year except for one.
Exactly, dude. That's it. That's the term that's the phrase that I've been looking for to describe my life. Because I always kind of half joke about like, oh, everybody always laughs at Nick about believing all this shit, blah, blah, blah. But when the time comes, who has all the answers?
Oh, everybody will be running and knocking on your door.
Yep. And like I said before, I can't help you. I got my own family to worry about. I got a dog.
This is true. Gotta protect. Kiwi would do his best, but I don't think he would fare too well in a werewolf fight. Unfortunately,
no. It would not be like the movie Bad Moon. The dog in that movie, have you seen Bad Moon?
I have not.
It's one of my favorite werewolf movies. It's about a brother, a grown man.
Right.
Turns into a werewolf after getting bit or scratched or something. Bit, I think. Yeah, he was out on an expedition. He was having sex with this chick, right? Just banging in a tent.
Cool.
Werewolf attacks the tent, eats the chick. That was a cool scene.
Cool.
He gets bit. That was a cool scene. He turns into a werewolf, right? So he basically like hides out in the mountains in like this RV because he doesn't want to harm anybody.
Nice guy.
He's a nice guy, but he knows every full moon he's going to transform into a werewolf, or every night.
Yeah.
For this movie, I think he transforms every night. Then his sister, his annoying sister's like, we need to have more family time. You should move in with me and my son and our dog because it would be really fun. And he's like, nah, man, like, I don't know if that's such a good idea, you know? And so she thinks he's just being an asshole, but he's really trying to protect them. But she basically forces his hand, moves in with him in his little RV in their backyard. And the dog of the family, Thor.
Oh, it's a great name for a dog.
It's a great name for a dog. Knows there's something up with this dude, right?
As dogs do.
As dogs do, man. Like they know that this dude's like a werewolf, yeah. So he's always like growling at him and attacking him, and he's like, get your fucking dog off me, you know, blah, blah, blah. So long story short, Thor saves the day at the end of the movie. All right. I don't know if Kiwi,
the little, he like his back rolls like makes him like, when I call him a loaf of bread, it's like you could like each roll is like an individual slice.
Yes. I don't know if my 20-pound pug will be able to fight a werewolf.
Well, maybe if you like tied him to a stick and used him as a blunt weapon,
Yes.
maybe.
Yeah, that would actually work really well.
To do some damage.
Anyways, check out Bad Moon. It's a good movie.
Got it.
Especially this month. Check it out. Of course, there are debates about what the beast of Le Javudon. I fucked it up. Let me retry that.
You had a streak for a while. You had a streak.
The beast. So there are debates about what the beast of Le Javudon was, but it's important to note that the general consensus among the several hundred men in the hunting party was that it was in fact a werewolf, a creature who was half man, half wolf.
I mean, like I said with my previous argument, like,
and this is a well-documented event.
Yeah, with a bunch of crazed people dealing with something. It could have just been a really big fucking animal for all we know.
What animal do you know that looks like a wolf and walks on two legs and that is big?
Bigfoot? I don't know.
A werewolf.
Yeah.
What have we been talking about for 2 episodes? A werewolf. There's only one creature that fits that description until we find another one. Like if there's wolves out there who have mutated into being able to stand on 2 legs, like, or something. I don't know, man. But I'm saying it was a werewolf. There's a couple hundred French people from 1600 saying it was a werewolf. All right.
Well, like I said, I've been giving my argument of plausibility, and I don't want to make that argument too tired. So instead, I'm going to point out that was this the origin story of how the silver bullet became like the popular like solution to your werewolf problems?
I think it helped with, because this is a very well-known, like well-documented, believed to actually have happened situation from the early days.
Right.
I think it influenced maybe a lot of writers and stuff for modern works, but the use of silver against evil is an ancient. It goes back very far. And
I do think we did bring that up with vampires, with that whole thing of like silver is like, it's just, there's a purity about it that's just like counter to evil or something.
Apparently it's a very pure metal.
Yeah. One of the purest there is. And it's just, I don't know, it's just one of the lucky picks.
Yeah. And apparently it works. I mean, it worked for our boy Jean. He took out the werewolf with a double barrel musket with 2 bullets, one to the chest, one to the heart.
And I love how he like double tapped it and had it blessed by a priest too. It's like, you know what? Just to be safe.
I mean, shit, dude. I'm not a God-fearing man, but if I was about to go fight a werewolf with silver bullets and a musket, I'd probably do the same thing.
Dude, if I was a priest, I would bless fucking everything. Just to leave a trail of like holy in my path. Like, cause fuck evil, man. Like, dude, I would everything.
Better safe than sorry.
True. Cause I don't think there's a limit. And
No.
there's no real like moral bad zone by blessing a bunch of shit. Like, why not, dude?
Why not do it?
Yeah.
If you're a priest and you have the ability to do it, you may as well do it.
Yeah, why the fuck not? That sounds like a great idea.
Okay, so that's it for the tales of werewolves from the past. But now we want to go over some more ways that you can tell someone is a werewolf in their human form. That way you know who to steer clear of, or you know who to ask to bite you.
Yeah. So, because obviously this is the last time we're recording in person, because I know you're bouncing out of the state again to live your life.
Yes.
So when I see you on Zoom, whatever social, whatever the fuck we use to have video, so we're not like awkwardly trying to guess each other's facial expressions while doing this. If I see you with any of these symptoms, I will know you succeeded. You
know what the sad thing is I feel like you and I already meet half of the criteria. You'll see.
Okay. All right.
It's pretty bad.
Okay, yeah. Let's see how many check marks we get.
Okay, so we have pale skin.
Yeah, for sure.
We both look like Casper the Friendly Ghost, right?
100. I'm like almost translucent.
Very poor vision. We both have really bad eyes.
It's like almost a joke about how like I got into visual arts and yet I have awful vision.
Mine's not as bad as yours, but I have a terrible astigmatism in my left eye.
Yeah, I think I have that. I think I have astigmatism too.
It's brutal. So far that's 2 for 2.
Okay, not bad.
Not able to produce a lot of tears or saliva, which comes with a very dry tongue. I do find my tongue being dry, and that's why I drink like a gallon and a half of water a day.
I'm pretty hydrated.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you're 2 for 3. I'm 3 for 3.
Yeah, so far.
Okay. And everybody at home will follow along because if you are checking off here, you might want to self-quarantine for a while.
Yeah, or let us know so that way you can meet up with Nick.
Oh yeah. Yeah. If you guys are really hitting the marks on this, let me know. Send me an email or something so we can meet at a Starbucks. You can just bite me real quick. You know what I mean?
Yep, it'll be nice, easy. It'll be like a Craigslist transaction.
Yeah, I'm not paying money for it.
Got to establish that.
Abrasions on their arms and legs, which seem to never heal. And this is because they walk on all fours in their wolf form if they are the full wolf transforming type.
I mean, sometimes, but like not any more than a normal person would. Like it's not a usual thing.
I don't have any of those.
Okay.
But that's because I believe I'm a hybrid werewolf and I stand on both legs.
Right.
They love to wander around graveyards at night.
Definitely not me.
I would love to do that. I don't have a graveyard near me, though.
No, that's true. Yeah, you really would have to kind of go out of your way to go to a graveyard out here.
Yeah. You know what? Actually, so far, this is just a bunch of goth people that we're describing.
Yeah, I don't think this really is indicative of really just anything outside of just being kind of gothic.
Cool. Right on, dude.
Sick.
Oh, love goth music. Hairy palms. All right. And I'm not talking about masturbating.
Heyo. Palms? No.
And this also includes rough palms, as the werewolf may shave their hair on the palms in an attempt to hide it. Do you have rough palms?
No, I have really soft hands.
That is feminine.
Yeah,
All right.
We've already established that.
Yes, you Pleiadian starseed. Unibrows, or the ability to grow a unibrow. That is 100% me.
Oh, really?
You know I get my eyebrows threaded, right? Like all the time.
I guess I never put it together.
If I didn't do that, I would 100% have a unibrow. It's very bad if I don't keep it kept. So that's me.
Is that the Samoan part?
I don't think so, because Samoans, Hawaiians, Pacific Islanders, not very hairy people.
Oh, interesting.
I don't know where I got all my hair from.
Mm-hmm.
My dad's side for sure.
Yeah. I was gonna say, isn't there like a little bit of like Irish in there somewhere, or a European something?
German, English, Norwegian, and Scottish.
I don't know. It's hard to say.
Probably the Scottish side.
Possibly.
The Scottish side giving me all kinds of fucking hair on me.
Also explains your alcohol tolerance.
Yes, very high. Very sad. You know what? Actually, just generally hairy people. All right. So like arms, legs, especially the top of their feet, like fucking hobbits.
I have a little. It's not very. It's definitely like my lightest hair, I think, is on my feet. I'm definitely like a hairy dude, but I'm not like. There's definitely hairier. I'm hairy. I would say not as hairy as you in some regards, but in different places. So like little behind the scenes, a little TMI for the fans out there who are actually curious about this shit. I manscape once a week, all right? Because I lift weights. I'm narcissistic. I like to see the creases of the muscles. Yeah, I have issues, all right? But if I let it all go, I'm very hairy. My legs get very hairy. My arms can get very hairy to a certain extent. My chest and the top of my feet too. Yeah. So I don't know, man. I'm pretty hairy. So far, I'm a little bit worried. Well, actually, I should say excited. Yeah, and see, and that little segment was free. You guys didn't have to pay anything. So
you didn't have to join my OnlyFans to know that.
Exactly.
So congratulations. That was a free little snippet of what Nick does behind the scenes.
Now, that would be a wonderful compliment to get one day. It's like, oh, by the way, I listened to Werewolves Part 2, and like, dude, that part where Nick talked about his hair level across his body and his personal care, like hardest nut I've had in my entire life. Thank you guys so much. Keep it up.
Smooth. I got smooth skin now.
So, okay. So we're both like, we both kind of hit the mark on that.
Yeah, so I think we're both pretty hairy. Extra long index and or ring fingers.
No.
Are either of those longer than like average for you?
Now, I got small stubby fingers. I mean, they're like not stubby. They could be stubbier, but I definitely have small hands.
I would say my ring and index fingers are pretty much the length they're supposed to be compared to the other fingers, yeah?
Yeah. Everything as it should be.
Cool. Then I think we're safe on that one.
Not bad.
Eyes which seem to glow in the dark with a slightly reddish hue. I wouldn't know.
No, because we've like house sat places before and stuff, and like
Yeah, that's true.
unfortunately, you do not have that much of a sinister glint.
Ah, God damn it.
Yeah, I hate to say it, man, but nah. Actually, no, it was really fun when we I thought there was somebody breaking in, and we fucking tactically swept that whole place.
Dude, we both had knives. We were like, all right, you check the upstairs. I'll hold the base at the base of the stairs so nobody can get by, and then we'll switch off and check the downstairs. It was beautiful, dude. We were like on a SWAT team. It was fucking awesome.
Yeah, we cleared the whole place. And you know what, dude? I've actually used that technique before whenever I feel like something's like scary. Because I remember I was visiting my mom, and we were hanging out, and then we realized like something was unlocked. And we weren't sure if that was us or not. So I was like, okay, we have ways to figure this out. So I just suddenly pull out that fucking fat black knife that you gave me. And I'm like, Mom, do you want to feel safe or not? And she's like, okay. And I was like, all right. So we went, I cleared the whole house, and I was like, nope, it was probably us because there is nothing here.
Nice. See, there you go, man. I love it. I love that you're utilizing that. That's a good house sweep right there. That's how you check for intruders. That's how you check for werewolves. That's how you check for anything that would come into your house, except for vampires, because you have to invite them inside.
You gotta. So, learn how to use a weapon.
Learn how to use a weapon.
Honestly, it's a really good idea.
It'll make you feel safe, and it'll keep you safe.
Yeah, and then just something about knowing that, like, you won't go down without, like, at least some kind of a fight. Like, I don't know, because I was really scrawny back when I was in, like, high school and younger. And it was just kind of the worst feeling to be like, fuck. Like, if somebody were to jump me, it'd just be a one and done. I'd be easy prey. But nowadays, it's just that sort of like, okay, no. Even if I did get, like, blindsided, it's like, at least I know I won't go down. It won't be an easy day.
Yeah, exactly. Which is all it takes is confidence.
Yep. Very true. Very true. See, we can talk about cool life, like, not embellishing, but like, we're
enhancing. We're enhancing your survival. Don't say we never taught you anything. All right.
Yeah, we're trying to help just as much as we're trying to scare the shit out of you.
Yes, exactly. And lastly, of course, something we mentioned when talking about the movie Bad Moon: domesticated dogs are either frightened of you or they see you as an alpha type figure. One or the other. It depends on how submissive the dog is.
Yeah, usually I have pretty good luck with dogs. Occasionally they get scared of my beard, but like. Or if because some dogs really don't like men, probably when they get like, abused and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Or you look like something that reminds, or some dogs are just protective. And so it's hard to say, but like, no, I've definitely met people's dogs and it was just nothing but like cuddles and pets.
I'm pretty much the same way. Dogs like me a lot, and not in like I'm an alpha kind of way. We just get along, So I would say this is a no-go for me.
Yeah, I'd have to agree.
So out of these, I'd say we got just over half.
Yeah, so arguably, if we're going by the American grading system, we technically failed the test. So neither of us are werewolves.
Damn it. I was really hoping, man. I was really pushing for that.
Well, when we got the first like two, I was like, here we go, man. But no, we actually, I think we're both clear.
All right. Well, now, this is all well and good, you might be saying, right? But if I know someone around me is a werewolf, like a friend, a loved one, a teacher, a pet, mistress, your dominatrix, anything like that, if I know they're a werewolf, what good does that do for me if I don't know how to protect myself, right? You asking yourself that, Tasker?
I asked myself that every minute before we recorded.
Excellent. Well, first, I would say, why are you not asking for them to turn you into a werewolf?
Because it's a bad idea.
Debatable.
Yeah, a little bit.
But if you really don't want to become a werewolf and you're going to puss out on this whole thing, then and you must know how to protect yourself, here are a couple ways that you can do that. And first off, know that werewolves are unable to cross moving water like a river or a creek.
That is helpful. Does it have to be a big one, or could you just like spill water and?
It's got to be a little bit bigger than that. I would say the smallest you could go is a creek. Those are pretty small, but they still run. A river, you're totally 100% good because you could probably swim across it. That guy ain't going into it. So
weird.
Yeah, he can't swim.
Okay. So werewolves can't swim.
Nah, they're pretty dumb when it comes to anything that's not land.
Is that kind of like with the Rook? I'm like remembering so much shit now that we're going back to it. Like the Rougarou can't count past like 7 or some shit.
Yeah, I think it was like 12. So if you put the pennies outside, that's another interesting thing we could bring into this too. Is one way you could protect yourself. I'm stealing it from our episode 2. You get some pennies, you get some stones, something small, about 12 of them. Put them out in front of the windows or inside the outside of the windows and doors of your house. It has to stop and read it if it's a Rougarou, right?
Right.
And then that thing will be stuck there forever until the sun comes up. So that's one way to repel them.
And one can also argue like putting just Halloween decorations up. Like that's a lot to count.
That is a lot to count. Yeah. So hey, 'tis the season. Protect yourself.
There you go. Christmas lights too.
Yeah, that's a lot. Wolfsbane is a plant and a flower, and it is very effective at repelling werewolves. It is also called monkshood. So if that's something that you have near you or you grow, you're pretty much good to go. They hate wolfsbane.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's in the name. Wolfbane, like to bane, like that's fucking cool.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. So wolfsbane, I recommend you guys start growing some of that in your garden.
Smart.
Because 2020 is not getting any better. Now we have coronavirus. I'm pretty sure next month werewolves will, like a lycanthropy virus will outbreak, which is going to be fucking cool.
At this point, I just wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
I'm going to be patient zero, dude.
Oh, yeah. And they'll be like a kid in a candy shop.
Oh, so nice. Werewolves are also very poor climbers, believe it or not. So climbing a tree and waiting until daylight is a great option.
So they're just bears that are thin.
Yeah, muscular.
Yeah, right.
Remember they're jacked.
I'm implying that werewolves don't exist.
No, they're real.
Yeah, it's just a bear that is just really skinny, who didn't get to do their winter sleep thing. Hibernation. Yeah, why else would a fucking werewolves would be able to climb a tree? No, because wolves can't climb trees, can they?
No, werewolves are terrible climbers, dude. They're heavy, they're top heavy, and their claws are too long to climb with.
Fine, but I'm not convinced. But go on.
Using a fairly translucent piece of moonstone is another way of repelling werewolves. They hate it.
Really?
Especially if you can reflect light through it into them. So like if you have like a flashlight or some kind of light source that you can use to push through the moonstone, a translucent piece of it, and have it come out of the moonstone and hit the werewolf, it's like burning them.
That seems almost counterintuitive because moon is what turns them into. Is it just like too much?
I don't know.
Interesting.
I don't know, but moonstone, they can't stand it. I have some moonstone at home.
I'm not surprised that you do.
So it's perfect.
Interesting. Yeah, because nobody would think of that. You think probably it would make them stronger, but no, it actually weakens them.
Yeah. Strange, right?
Very strange, but good to know.
Ash trees. Ash trees are not only natural repellents of werewolves, but because of that, their branches and twigs can be whittled down to a stake of sorts and used to kill the beast.
Interesting.
That's a wood that they are allergic to is not the right word. They are devastated by.
So it just tears them apart.
Yeah.
Because are werewolves naturally, are they fairly like indestructible without these means?
Yes.
Fuck.
Yeah, they're very, very hard to take down without these. Like you can do decapitation. I don't even know if burning them works at a core level. Like I think you'd have to decapitate first and then burn them. But I mean, decapitation works for anything. So, but it's hard to do. Picture trying to get close enough to decapitate a werewolf. That's the problem.
It seems like because if like regular like stabby things don't work, I could just say knives like a grown ass adult.
Stabby things.
But it seems like, you probably wouldn't even be able to get the blade through their neck when they're in a werewolf form, especially with it thrashing around and shit, unless you just, I don't know, use like one of those like hydraulic things or whatever. Or like a giant blade falls out of the sky. It seems more reasonable to catch them in their human form and get their head off then.
That's something else you can think about too, but it's hard to figure out who the werewolf is unless you catch them red-handed, kind of. Like if you catch them transforming back, or if you happen to catch them right after they transform and they're passed out and they're clearly the dude who just was a werewolf because he's like
Yeah.
covered in blood and his clothes are all ripped up and shit.
Right.
Other than that, it's hard. It's not like a vampire because with a vampire, you don't know who's doing it, but you can follow the trail back to their coffin or whatever and open it up and they're in there sleeping
You're in the daytime.
in the daytime.
Yeah.
Right. And you know, oh shit, that must be him because he's the only person in the village sleeping in a coffin during the day.
Which I got to point out the irony of like me kind of half yawning when you said that because it is in the middle of the day. And I don't know. If you're on the werewolf side, I might be more on the vampire side.
Team Edward, huh?
Obviously. That would actually be hilarious if like, okay, if we're under the assumption that like werewolves and all that shit is real, I think it would be really funny if actually you ended up getting bit by a werewolf and I ended up getting bit by a vampire, but we keep doing the podcast anyways.
Dude, that would be so cool, man. God, I wish I was a werewolf.
Yeah.
Life is not fair.
It's not. It never will be.
Damn it. That sucks.
Yeah. Ash trees.
Ash trees, yes. So you can use those to either repel them, like you can hide in an or like a grove of ash trees and they won't come and get you, or you could use one of their long branches as like a spear and that'll actually kill it.
Wow. Okay. Do you have to stab it into the heart or anywhere with it?
I'm pretty sure you got to go for the heart.
Right. Like most things.
Like most things, it seems like they're pretty indestructible except for their heart. Because
Okay.
like when Jean shot his silver bullet musket at him, the first shot didn't take it down because he missed the heart. It just went in somewhere else in the chest. But the second one took him down because it was a direct hit to the heart.
Interesting. So now with these objects, when you have them, does that mean it pierces through them easier?
I don't think so. No, I think
Okay.
it's just as much of a struggle to get it in there.
Got it. Okay. So these guys are, even if you got the right tools, they're still going to be a fucking huge problem. It's not like a simple one and done.
No, you still got to work it around. You still got to shove it in there. You still have to hit it right on the spot. Yeah, it's still going to suck. Nobody should have to fight a werewolf.
Yeah.
It sucks. Okay, I'm not going to plug another movie. All right, let's move.
Yeah, we're not getting paid enough for that.
Nope. And lastly, of course, the one we all know and love and the one we already talked about today, silver.
Yep.
That's the go-to. If you have silver anything, silver cutlery that your old decrepit grandma gave you before she died, or like a silver urn, anything, silver coins, I want you to do me a favor. As your friend, I want you to go ahead and gather all that shit up, get it smelted down into bullets, all right? And get it prepared, put it in some casings and whatever size ammunition your gun takes, and just keep them in a magazine under your pillow. There will be a day coming soon where werewolves take over the world, and you will need that silver. You'll thank me later. So gather all that shit. You don't need it. Your grandma's dead. You don't need her cutlery anymore. What are you going to serve a fancy dinner and shit? No. When there's werewolves out on the prowl, you're not looking to like, be a butler somewhere. Just get your shit turned into bullets. That's what I'm going to do. After this episode, I'm going to go get all my silver shit smelted down.
Yeah. Well, and you could argue, though, the silver could be used as a financial asset, if it's worth money.
Why do they care about money when there's werewolves running around?
Why wouldn't we care about money? Everything's fucking expensive in California.
That's true. But if we do get if there is a werewolf outbreak and we all get attacked, money is going to be the last thing anybody's thinking about. It's going to be like on all these post-apocalyptic games, where there's like a different currency, like Fallout, right? You have bottle caps. It's going to be the same thing. Money's going to go out the door. Useful items will become currency. Your silver will be useful, but keep it to yourself.
All right.
Smelt it down as a weapon. It's more useful to save your life than it is to buy shit. Trust me.
Well, if you say so. If you say so.
But ladies and gentlemen, that was it. That was part 2 of Historical Werewolves. Thank you for listening. Thank you for indulging us on this one, especially myself. I love werewolves. This wasn't like a bit or anything. I fucking love werewolves, and it is the season to talk about them.
True. And I'm glad that we ended up getting some good gruesome material. As we talked about, this is October. We gotta ramp it up on the blood. We gotta ramp it up on the spooks here. We gotta really get into the season for things. There was one thing that I really wanted to point out because there was this game I used to play on it was like a web browser game called Kingdom of Loathing. Have you ever played it?
I have played it.
It's so much fun. But one of the things about this game is one of the mechanics was there was these things called like ultra rare encounters where sometimes there was like specific enemies that had like a 0.9% chance of like happening. So one of the enemies was the Badio wolf, which is a werewolf, but it's the famous soccer player, Scott Badio, but just like as an enemy in the game. Yeah, the Badio wolf. Yeah, it cracked me up. And it just, when we were working on this episode, that was just something that just always caught my mind. And it was just, yeah, and it's just like a little like shitty like stick figure drawing of him with like little ears that pop up.
That's cute.
Yeah, I think Scott Badio passed away actually like a while ago.
That's a big rip.
It was a big rip.
But thank you guys for listening. It was fun. I hope it was fun for you guys. As Tasker said, it is October. It is time to ramp up the spooks. We have some fun topics coming your way in the next 2 or 3 episodes. And then right before Halloween, on the Wednesday before, we are dropping our first ever listener spooky tale episode. Haven't decided on a title yet, but we're excited for that. And we thought it'd be perfect for Halloween.
Yeah, it's like a good old sitting around the campfire and, you know, just telling stories, trying to creep each other out.
Speaking of like pandemics and creeping each other out and things that we should all be worried about, have you had any luck on the Count Chocula front as far as finding the boxes or finding any clues or anything that's going on around town?
Well, it's funny you say that. I actually this time, I mean, to be fair to myself and honest, I wasn't looking very hard. But because why would I? You know, I'm more of a like just pretend it's not there.
Fair.
And this time I made a conscious effort when I went to Ralph's to be okay. I'm gonna look for this box. It's got to be here. Nothing.
Are you kidding me? It's still not fucking there.
I swear to God. And what I think what could be the case is they might have licensing rights, so that way maybe they only can, I mean, it may be Count Chocula, but you know, even he has to follow the rules to stay under the radar. So it could be maybe there's like an exclusive contract with like Target, but I have not seen it at my local Ralph's.
It's worrying me more and more, the fact that I keep seeing Count Chocula things and nobody else's. It's frightening me. I don't know now at this point. I don't know if they've gotten, if they're slipping things into my pre-workout. I don't know if I'm going crazy, but I feel like all of this stuff about Count Chocula and all these things that I'm seeing physically are actually in my head.
This is very true. Yeah, maybe you just got like dosed with something and then it's just you're starting to see like, you know, like your chocolate bars start melting and like what is it in your protein powders, there's a little bit of an extra crunch to it and stuff, and like, you know, and you, I don't know if you eat Greek yogurt, maybe it's starting to taste like booberry. I don't know.
Oh shit. Yeah, I forgot about his buddy Booberry.
You gotta be careful of that. I did know actually. This is last night. I had a Truly, the seltzer Truly, and I had it was like blue acai, whatever the fuck. I don't care. It tasted a lot like, you know, kind of like a blueberry cereal, like a kind of a yogurty kind of Go-Gurt, something like that.
God.
So for all I know, I don't know if maybe I could be wrong, but maybe I'm the only one who tasted it that way.
Okay, that's horrifying.
So they're tag teaming us, dude.
And it's getting closer to it's getting closer to Halloween was when I know that they get close to striking. So please be on the lookout.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody out there too, be on the lookout. Count Chocula is not holding any punches right now. We are still compiling data on this whole thing. We want to get this out and released as soon as possible. So stay tuned for it. But for now, we're going to just try to be as safe as we can.
Yeah.
Hunker down.
And you guys all too. I know it, like, you know, things have not gotten much better since March. So just, you know, do your best. I know in America, we got election season coming up. One of the most embarrassing debates I've ever seen on TV. The memes have been fantastic. But yeah, hopefully we don't fuck up too bad in America because it seems to ruin life for everybody else. But till then, thank you all for watching, of course, as usual. If you are listening to us on iTunes or have access to iTunes, if you could give us a 5-star rating and leave us a little review, that would be super cool. We have like about 10 of them now, and it's just fantastic to hear from you guys and hear what you say and like what you got to say about the show. Like we would love that. We love it. Spotify, you can hit us with a follow. New episodes every Wednesday as per usual. You can listen to us on your drive, on your commute. Make traffic a little less terrible.
Listen to us when you're having sexual relations with your partners.
Exactly. Or when you're doing your weird Craigslist pickup and they might be a werewolf.
Werewolf.
Yeah. Well, they'll listen. If you put this episode on, it'll spook them because they're like, oh shit, they know. Also, we have Instagram at CEOTPK. Of course, we are now uploading everything onto YouTube. Close Encounters of the Podcast Kind. If you just type that in, that's the best way to find it. Or your episode of choice that should show up too in the search bar. Twitter at CEOTPK1. At Facebook, we are Close Encounters of the Podcast Kind. You could join our little community and stuff. You could also email us at ceotpk1@gmail.com. Discord is discord.gg/lowercase b, number 6, capital C, capital T, number 5, capital M, capital X. Also, if that's hard to remember, you could just go to our Facebook. Every single new post we do about the episodes has that link there. So, yeah, 'cause we still can't update the fucking, the pinned post.
They're trying to hold us down. They know that we're spreading the truth on Discord, and they're like, oh, we're not going to let you add that link in.
They're shutting us right the fuck up. That's assholes. But so that'll hopefully get fixed someday. But, if you feel the need to donate or throw us a couple bucks, you know, we have coffeeko.fi.com/CEOTPK. Non-essential. We just want you guys to listen. That's pretty much all we could ever ask for.
Yeah, that's only if you can, and only if you feel like it. So don't feel obligated. We love you guys. Thank you for listening, platonically.
Yeah, and if you're on the fence, like, we'll be okay. Nick and I will be okay. If you decide that you don't want to give us that $1, we're gonna be fine.
Yeah. I'm better than ever right now. I'm only in a little bit of debt.
We laughed sort of seriously.
No, we're fine, so don't worry about it.
We're doing great.
Yeah, we love you guys platonically. And just remember, whether you are a child-eating werewolf or the kind of werewolf that eats the other werewolves that eat children, just remember that the truth is out there.
Smoke and mirrors is nothing new. It's been happening before, and why would they give you the secret back then? It's ridiculous. It's not. Doing too much jumping over the bed into the bathroom.
An acrobat.
Yeah, what can I say? All right.